Hi, this is George Sosa. I'm the Vice President for Alec Bradley Cigars. I'm here today in Berlin, my first trip to Berlin, and it's fantastic. I've been to Germany, but my first trip to the Berlin, and just incredible. I'd like to thank Noblego .de for inviting me here for this honor, and also Thorsten Wolfritz and Wolf for the opportunity to present my cigars to the German market. Again, I've been with Alec Bradley now almost 15 years, and it's been a tremendous ride. Prensado, which is right in front of me, just took Cigar of the Year in the United States, and it's one of our pride and joys, released here in Germany not too long ago. But more importantly, for us, the black market is what put the foot in the door in the German market. Most of our cigars are made in Honduras, Nicaragua, in Central America. We use nothing but aged tobacco. Our business has grown incredibly since we started the company over 15 years ago, but we are now growing in the exportation arena, and that's why I spend so much time in Germany, because it is one of our most significant markets outside the United States. Talking about our cigars, I just told you about two of our gems, the Prensado and the Black Market, and I will get back to them. But one of my favorite cigars, the American Sun-Grown. Just a beautiful cigar, just being introduced to the German market. It's just incredible, and I assure you it's not going to be disappointing. One of the things I love most about coming to Germany is I think it's impossible to find a bad beer in Germany. Well, I like to tell you, I think it's impossible to find a bad cigar at Alec Bradley. As I was coming over, I was having a conversation with Thorsten, and we were going over one of our cigars that will be introduced fairly soon in Dortmund, called the Nica Puro. And he said, why is it that the cigar was delayed over a year? Well, when we first released the cigar, it was perfect. As the cigar aged, it was less than perfect, and we'd rather release it when the time is right. We are a company of integrity that would rather take a loss in the beginning and have it right at the end. One of the questions I interestingly get asked often when I travel is, how did Alec Bradley come up with the name? And a lot of times they ask me, can we see Alec Bradley? And I answer, well, Alec is in 7th grade and Bradley's a senior in college. He just graduated this year. Alan Rubin started this company out of love for tobacco over 15 years ago. He was in business with his father. They sold their original business, which was in a hardware fasteners, and entered into the cigar business. It was just on a love of the business and a prayer, and it almost cost them heavily, because it was during the boom and it was very difficult. The company Alec Bradley was named after his two boys, Alec and Bradley, and it has developed to what we are today. We went from a small office space in South Florida to now we employ over 45 people in the South Florida area, as well as our manufacturing companies in Central America. So it was built on a dream, out of the love, just like most retailers, most people who deal with tobacco. It definitely starts out as a labor of love. This for us is a passion. That's why our mantra is live true. That's what I ask from our road warriors. If you've read Cigar Aficionado, you will see we call our team members, our salesmen, the road warriors. They spend 70% of their time traveling, doing promotions, promoting, just like I'm promoting today, and talking about our cigars. And all we ask of them is live true, live the dream. If you dream it, you can do it. And that's what Alec Bradley is all about. We don't commit to making a cigar till we know that it's going to be available consistently. One of the worst things in today's markets is when you get tied to a cigar and you love it, and then it's not available. Say, sorry, we only make one cigar that's very, very limited, and we don't do it on purpose. It's just that we only have so much tobacco for the project. But everything else is always available, and one of the things I really like about this company is you can now go to noblego.de and you can purchase the cigars and have them available. We are very proud of the the marriage that we have between us and the availability of the cigars.